Hey, what up guys and gals? Jesse here from Long Lost Robots. In the last video, we used the MPC ONE to bring analog gear into Logic Pro 10. So of course, on the MPC ONE, I had the full song done. I synced it to Logic Pro 10, press played on Logic Pro, it plays the MPC ONE, and all the gear I used recorded right into Logic Pro. So in this video, what I want to show you is why I had kick 2. If I'm only recording one kick, why I had a second track for kick, why I had a second track for snare. So what I did to make some changes in this second go around here is I've hooked the drum machine, the RD6, directly to my tube preamp, and now I have the drum and kick into one channel each, and I kind of went down and kind of changed the settings a little bit, give it some flavor, and re-record the kick and the snare. That way I have 2 kicks, 2 snares to choose from. What I also did as well is I changed some of the settings on the JU06, and what I'm going to do is when I record this new pad, is in real time, when the choruses come, I'm going to open it up a little bit, the frequencies, and just give it a nice high-end sizzle, which the first one does not do. It's a very low, bassy type pad, right, that the JU06 was doing. Also, what I have is in my multi-purpose synthesizer, I had 2 harp settings in there, or 2 harp programs, and the first one is the one that I really like. It's just got a more colorful, low feeling to it. And the second one, which I actually wrote the song with the first one, it was very high pitched, and until I found the other one, I was like, oh, this one sounds better. But what I'm going to do is record that sound as well. So I will have 2 different harp sounds, and I can blend them together. If it even doesn't work, I'll get rid of the one that I definitely didn't start with. The one that I started with is the one I like. All right, guys, so now that I have all my settings ready to go, I have the settings in my tube preamp, I have the settings on the X50 and the JU06, we're going to start, and I'm going to show you in the very beginning how once that intro is done, you're going to see me do it in real time. I'm just going to pull that JU06, the frequency down just a little bit on the JU06 and give it that flavor throughout the verses and the choruses. And in real time, there's nothing doing that. It's like a real person doing something. Yes, you can, automate all this stuff in software and all that, but there's no fun in that. Let's hit record and see what happens. That's the new harp sound. Kick. Snare's gonna come in JO6. I even had to bring the drum machine closer because it wouldn't even reach with the cables that I have. Cables cost money. Let's bring that down now. Now I can blend those synthesizers in and use automation to do all of that. But right now we're using real gear, so we got to do this by hand. And there's nothing better. There's not a better feeling than that. And watch, on the count 4 into the chorus, I'm going to bring that up just a little bit in real time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, guys, I'm gonna let this the song fully record. I'll see you at the end of it, okay? Guys and gals, so it's all recorded. I did my movements real time. Let's go ahead and check it out. I actually had the kick and snare on in the very beginning of the recording, but it's not a big deal. So what we'll do is actually, let's go ahead and mute them. Let's go ahead and start from the very beginning, and let's hear what happens when I just kind of introduce the original recordings and blend everything together. We're not doing any volume movements right now. A couple of things I have down on the faders just because they were already clipping, but that's not a big deal. We're not doing any mixing right now. Let's hear how it sounds. Let's hear how it sounds all together, okay? Let's press play. So that's the second harp. Let's turn the first harp on. Immediately. Let's turn the second one down just a bit. Just a bit. So it's not too powerful. That's the first JU06. Here's the second one. Okay. There's only the second kick. Let's turn the first kick on. Turn the first snare on. Let's mute the snare. That's just one snare, 2 snares. Immediately it's just thicker. Let's turn the second kick off. That's just the one kick. Kick 2. Yeah. need you guys to understand that when you're a very simplistic song, it's very easy to go, man, I need more tracks, but you don't have to do that. Let me go ahead and get rid of the drum machine right now, and we're going to come right back. I need to get my keyboard back in front of me. I'm going to show you something that I'm doing to get these songs to be a little bit more exciting, and you can see this does it alone, but I need to add some bass, some guitars. We're not going to do that in this video, but I want to show you a trick I'm doing. Give me 1 second. All right, guys, so I want to show you a little trick that I'm doing in this song particular, because when I wrote the song, I had the JU06 panned all the way to the left. I had the harp all the way to the right. And when I'm playing it using the mixer and I'm playing a bass and I'm playing guitar and I'm singing, it just helped break the whole thing up and not keep it so down the center. So it gave it some life. Phase JU06 here, harp over here. So I want to show you what I've actually done. Look, go ahead and look at my first JU06. The darker pad is panned hard left. The higher pitched or higher frequency JU06 is just panned 39%. So that way it gives it a little space to the right as well. But it doesn't conflict with the harp. The harp is still panned hard right. Let's go ahead and do that right now. We're going to pan that hard right. And I'm going to mute that second one because right now we don't want that distracting us. That's something just to kind of blend in the sound. And that's a production thing that we don't want to mess with right now. What I want to show you is I have the phaser up here and I have my phaser over here and it is panned right now, as you can see, all the way to the right. So it is sending some of that JU06 to the right. But what I did is, let's go ahead and go into the automation. I want to show you what I'm doing right here. I've automated the phaser panning to go from left to right. So when the verses are on, when the verses, that phaser will be over here. I could turn it off and on too. There's nothing wrong with that. But right now I have that phaser and I'll blend it in as I want. It's to the left and you're going to hear it go to the right. Now what's going to happen is it's going to widen in the choruses. So you can hear things panned hard right, hard left. You might hear a little bit of that JO6 here, but it's not very noticeable. Let's see what happens. Let's go ahead and solo that, and I want you to hear just how that sounds by itself. So you can hear that's just the auxiliary channel with the phaser on it. Comes over here, and what I did is I used the higher frequency JO06 as my bus to send to the phaser. I don't need both of them going there. I don't need both sounds there. I just need one. Now I can do both and give it a nice blended sound. There's nothing wrong with that. I can take the first JO06 and get that. But right now I haven't automated that one. Or no, well, excuse me. I don't need to automate two channels because I'm automating the auxiliary channel. Excuse me. So that is one trick that I'm doing right now to widen with limited amount of instruments that I have. I might add some other instruments, but I've already tried that in the past. I'll talk about that later. I've already tried adding instruments to this very simple song and it ruined the feel. It did not need anything. All right, guys, so one of the last things I want to talk about is just a little method that I've kind of developed with this song. I want you to hear as I go out of the intro, and this is going to happen with the choruses, so it's going to come out of the intros into the verses, out of the verses into the chorus. I'm going to turn this effects on. It's a reverb effect that's really cool with Logic Pro 10. One of the reasons why I like Logic Pro 10 is because it comes with a lot of stock plugins that are very awesome. And what's going to happen is this reverb is going to act as another instrument. So let's just go ahead and back up a little bit. You're going to hear the grain effects on, and as it goes into the verse, you're going to hear it cut out. But you can see it's very much another instrument. Let's just listen to the whole little intro area, okay? I can make some adjustments. Take down the size a little bit. The attack doesn't need to be too long. The distance, I don't want it too far in the background. JU06 is kicking, but we're not mixing yet. So you can see how it just added a lot of movement, and I have some settings to make. I just did this right now really quick for the video, but it's really cool when you can just add something without adding another instrument, and you can just automate it up and down with volume wise. You can automate how much signal is going to the reverb or delay or whatever you might be using, and it's just another cool way to change things up. Let's go ahead and listen to that again. I'm just going to increase how much is going to the reverb just to over exaggerate it, and of course I got my cans on, and these are just my cheap ones, so let's just go ahead and see how it sounds. Excellent. Doesn't get any better than that, guys. Remember, when you're working with a song, you don't need to over flood it with instruments. Sometimes you need to just double up on that instrument. You can copy and paste it, or you can grab another frequency and change the frequency a little bit of that same instrument program you were using. I doubled up on two different harp sounds, so I'm going to blend those together, probably take that higher pitched one and just bring it down in the back a little bit and just give it some bite. Little things like that you can do, guys, and just make your song sound the way they need to sound in recording form as opposed to doing it live. Now, you don't have to do all these things live. Technically, if I want to, is I can take this and record that grain effects right into the MPC Live or MPC 2, so I can jam out live and just press play here and have everything here ready to go. And I will do a version of that because I want to start playing live if I can, and even just playing live in my studio. So anyways, guys, that's all I want to cover today on this segment. I'm going to be doing bass, I'm going to be doing vocals and all that good stuff. And what I'll do is when I kind of get all that going, I'll finish off another video, and we'll just go over the hard draft on where this song ends up, and I can show you what happens with this song. So anyways, guys, I hope you are making some beautiful music out there. I want you to be recording your songs as much as possible. I want you to have a legacy by the end of this year of a good 5 to maybe even 8 songs, and that's about a song every month and a half. You know what I mean? That's a long time. So if you get a song on the MPC, get it down, build it in song form, build your templates, get everything ready, your effects, get all of that ready. Like I said, man, open up a beer, put on your favorite podcast, set it all up, get it done, and you won't have to do it again. Then you press play, double up on some things, start thinking about automation, automating to effects, and what you can do to liven up the song without ruining it. Again, if you can add an instrument and it sounds great, not a big deal. But anyways, guys, thank you so much. My name is Jesse. If you like what you've heard so far today, go ahead. I need you to subscribe, help me build this channel. I'm going to be building this channel for the rest of the year. I'm so excited to be back on YouTube. Again, I have my new studio. We're going to be doing some videos on that. We're going to be breaking out some gear that I've purchased. Not a lot, just some very key components that I needed, like a new microphone, a new bass guitar, a real bass guitar. I cannot wait to show you this. Guys, thank you so much for being here. My name is Jesse. I hope you are making some beautiful music. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.